To help us close today's program, I would like to introduce our closing intern speaker. Sayd Hussain is part of the Politics and Public Policy track at the Washington Center. He joined this summer with the Ecological Society of America as an education intern for education and diversity programs. Born in Georgetown, Guyana, but raised in South Florida, Sayd has learned to incorporate his humble upbringing in the United States to create positive change in his community, such as a voter drive in the city of Fort Lauderdale, advocating for stormwater infrastructure to the offices of Senator Marco Rubio and Bill Nelson. He is currently working on his BS in environmental engineering and a political science minor from Florida Atlantic University. Please welcome our closing speaker, Sayd Hussain.
How's everyone doing today? Well, I hope I pleased you today. So, let's get started. Living in DC was entirely different than what I was comfortable with in Florida. During the first hours of my arrival, I felt largely overwhelmed and alone with an entirely new city. Even though I was worried, I never took my eye off the ball, because coming to DC meant more to me than anyone can realize. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "You must do the things you think you cannot do." The greatest opportunities students have experienced are those they believe they couldn't have qualified for. Like for many in this room, we have been selected from a highly qualified pool of applicants eager to explore the world of Washington, D.C. Being accepted for the TWC program caught me off guard, and I was so ecstatic to be given this opportunity in the first place. I need a new reality, a new perspective away from my university in the sunshine state of Florida into a new reality. Oh God. I'm so sorry, everybody.
You're okay.
Woo!
Thank you. Being accepted for the TWC program caught me off guard. And I remember being so ecstatic to be given this wonderful opportunity in the first place. So, I need a new reality, a new perspective away from my university in the sunshine state of Florida into a new life where I can face new sunshine and possibilities and achieve far beyond my own self-doubt and achieve more than anyone can ever doubt of me. This vision is not far beyond my own, as I know many of my brilliant peers here in the class of 2017 agree that the Washington Center has opened more doors than you, even yourself, can imagine. Personally, what drove me to DC, like for many of us, was to explore possible career paths and figure out a plan outside undergrad, like graduate school or law school. Yet, I learned quickly that even though I figured out many of my career questions within the first few weeks upon arrival, I was still missing something important, and I wanted to share with you what I found today. When I arrived in DC, I thought my full success could come through only networking and researching careers. After interviewing 3 patent and 1 social justice attorney, everyone I interviewed came to similar conclusions, that your personal statement will be one of the biggest drivers for your success. I started freaking out over this, because I underestimated the importance of a personal statement. I thought the GPA or LSAT would get me into law school. When I tried thinking about my origins as a person, it was just a blank canvas to my imagination. Even though I could figure out the right career path to take, which internships to apply for, and the best way to get into a law school, I was still lost because I realized that I was lost within myself, and my personal story was missing from the picture. I was shocked to realize that even though I accomplished everything that I needed to come to DC for, I ended up having to do way more to solve my real problems. I had to ask this question to myself, and I want everyone here to think about this as well. How did I get here today? Answering this question is not that simple. It is a challenge to overcome because it first requires you to dig deep in yourself, and for many, it's a hard thing to discover. For me, I was born in Georgetown, Guyana, a small, proud nation in the continent of South America. For years, my people have been stripped from opportunity from British colonialism, taken from India, and enslaved the title of indentured servanthood, only to be forgotten among the world around us. Poverty, malnutrition, and crime rose to peaks never seen before and yet we were still the forgotten nation in the continent of South America. My family was fortunate enough to gain citizenship to the United States, but even as a little boy, I never forgot where I came from. Growing up in South Florida, I cannot recall how many times I had to explain to others where I came from. Even where I came. Growing up in South Florida, where I came from, who am I, and where is Guyana? It's in South America. It seemed, even living in a Latin and Hispanic community, that I was still the forgotten, the neglected, and the unknown. A minority within a minority. Growing up in this country confused me, and over time, I forgot who I really was and what I stood for. It is tough to think for yourself when everyone around you has given you a label or described who you are. By the time I finished high school, I think I was labeled every single stereotypical race imaginable. I didn't realize at the time that people were telling me who I was, because for me, I didn't really know who I was either. Without an identity growing up, trouble struck me indefinitely. I was suspended from high school, and I was rejected by 5 out of 7 universities that I applied for. I nearly lost my own perseverance to succeed, and now I could say it was because I did not have an identity in the United States. Trying to be successful in this world without having an identity is like giving an employer a blank resume. The strongest advocate for your success is not only your performance in the classroom, but your identity, because that's what wakes you up in the morning, and nobody can take that away from you. One of the best things no one can deny is the historical culture and presence this city holds. I knew little of my birth country's history, and even less of which part of India I'm originally from. I cannot just Google where I'm from, nor can I find any documents online either. I realized, then it struck me when I was writing my 1,000 case memo, that literally like only 10 minutes away from me, that there's almost every single piece of document, historical research, and material within a facility. It's the Library of Congress. After getting my research card, I swiftly explored the main reading room, going through book by book, page by page on the fight for independence from the British, and how Indians like myself ended up in South America in the first place. I also learned the hardships of my ancestors and how institutions kept people like me illiterate and trapped within the fences of the sugar plantations. My ancestors never got the chance to become educated or had the chance to become successful. The only opportunities they had was to make pennies more than the 20 cents they were making already. There is nothing more valuable than the history of where you came from, because it's the basis of finding your identity. With history, you can understand why your parents left for America, or how your parents ended up in the state where you reside. It gives us reason why we are all privileged to be given these opportunities in DC in the first place. The struggles and sacrifices of your families, even the ones with you today and those in the past, may be the reason you are all here today. Once I understood that concept, I knew I needed to make a real difference for myself and achieve the most impossible task, or else I would feel like I'm letting someone down who's long gone from here. I realized that success should not be for the better version of yourself, but your passion can be contributed from those in the past that have forged your future. I never settled for the bottom line, because I knew every single accomplishment here I made in DC only helped shape who I wanted to become. When I arrived 2 months ago, I was a boy without a world, living in a society who told me who I was, where now I could stand freely and feel empowered, because now I have the ability to think for myself. And nobody can take that away from me. Chetty Jakin, the former founder and former president of Guyana, once said, "It matters not what a person is born, but who they choose to be." I choose to learn for myself, instead of letting people decide who I wanted to become. Even though our internship program is winding down, I hope everyone continues to strive for success, because we're all fortunate to be here today. As my journey in the United States continues to develop, as I speak today, the knowledge I gained in DC truly became a turning point in my life. And I wish for those in this room to ask yourself the same question that I asked myself and begin to explore a story you have been missing your entire life. Thank you.